I stand on my 2 feet. I'm in my proper person. I am sovereign. I am man. The flesh lives. The blood flows. I challenge the jurisdiction. And if jurisdiction cannot be proven, I move to dismiss this case.
That would be denied.
Along with the officer and sergeant who are already going to be getting sued. There's no need to add you as well.
Any threats to sue me or to take any action against me, I can't be swayed by that. So
it's not a threat. It's just what it is. I've made the special visitation under duress pertaining to the matters of Jonathan Troy, Faifo Leaso Maliatoa Schuster. For I am beneficiary, I am sovereign, I am man. The flesh lives, the blood flows. I am a non-U.S. citizen, American national. I am sui juris imperfecta persona. I reserve all rights. I do not understand the status. And so I ask you, ma'am, what is your name? What is your nationality? And what is your status?
I'm Judge Grant. I am a citizen. I'm the judge in this court. You are here subject to appropriate jurisdiction. So you are here for an arraignment. You've been charged with a crime. Today, you will be asked to enter a plea.
Ma'am, I object because a citizen cannot sit a bench, ma'am.
So I'm going to go through the information. It looks like you have been charged with driving with a suspended license, driving without a required ignition interlock device, refusal to comply, not having proper registration on the vehicle, expired over 2 months. And then there was also a driving violation. Wheels were off the roadway. Last 2 are infractions. So
buckle up, guys. Today we're diving into a courtroom clash that sets the stage with one bold opening. A father comes in hot, pushing for a child support reduction like it's a done deal. But Judge Vonda B. doesn't flinch. She hits him with, "Just because your job changed doesn't mean your responsibility disappeared." The energy? Intense. You can almost feel the tension rise as both sides buckle down. This isn't just about money, it's about control, pride, and who really has the kid's best interest at heart. And trust me, things are just warming up.
Ma'am, jurisdiction cannot be proven unless status is established. You have not established status. And so if you cannot do that, I challenge the jurisdiction. And if jurisdiction cannot be proven, I move to dismiss this case with prejudice.
That would be denied. So I am going to, at this time, review for probable cause.
Object. Again, I challenge the jurisdiction, and jurisdiction must be proven.
It's not going to happen today.
Jurisdiction must be proven.
To hear the charges, and I will be reviewing for probable cause, and then we'll make a determination as to whether or not you will remain in custody. And I will hear from the prosecutor as to that.
And if you violate my rights even further, ma'am, as well as the officer and the sergeant that violated my rights, who are also going to be getting sued, it would just add to that. And I don't think that you need to go that route.
While I review this incident report. All right, I do find probable cause with the charges. I will be entering not guilty, please.
Ma'am, you cannot practice law from the bench. I object.
Noted.
You cannot enter a plea for somebody. That is, practicing bench from the law.
Unless you want to enter a plea of guilty, today there'll be a plea of not guilty. I understand you are objecting.
Ma'am, I object. I challenge the jurisdiction. Jurisdiction has not been or established. And once again, you haven't even established, your nationality or your status. I am a non-U.S. citizen, American national by way of America Samoa. I reserve all my rights.
Is this something that we need to consider a competency evaluation for?
All right, guys. Here's where the drama thickens. The mother reveals her plan to move the kids to Florida, out of state, away from the father's reach. Instantly, the courtroom shifts. The father's frustration goes from 0 to 100 real quick, and the tension crackles. Judge Vonda steps in like a referee with authority, demanding clarity and purpose. It's not just relocation, it's potential alienation, and you can see it. The fear of losing access to his kids is written all over the father's face. This isn't just legal, it's deeply personal.
We may need to consider ordering ability to proceed, but it looks like you have a driver's license that recently expired.
to question my competency because I'm establishing status and asking you to prove jurisdiction is outrageous. And so, again, if jurisdiction cannot be proven, I move to dismiss this with prejudice based on the grounds that you cannot prove jurisdiction.
All right, I've reviewed this. You were driving in the city of Lake Forest Park. You were violating
Again,
laws.
I was not driving. Again, I have rights.
You were behind
And
the
my rights were violated.
traveling.
My rights were violated. My right to travel freely unencumbered was violated. There was no emergency in which the officer needed to put on his red and blue lights. And so, again, if status cannot be set, jurisdiction cannot be proven, I move to dismiss this matter with prejudice.
That's denied. So you've made your record. Right now, I'm going to directly appoint counsel from the bench. Ms. McDonald.
Again, I am
you.
sui juris in propria persona. I stand on my.
Get ready because this part feels like a bomb drop. The father accuses the mother of using child support money not for the kids, but for her own lifestyle. Shots fired. You hear gasps. The mother, cool but sharp, claps back with receipts, figuratively and literally. She paints a picture of sacrifice and responsibility, while Judge Vonda presses both sides like a seasoned investigator. This isn't just a he said, she said. It's war over who's more credible. And the judge? She's not taking any side without evidence.
And so I reserve all my rights.
I understand that, and I've acknowledged that. I'm not dismissing your case today. I'm going to hear from Ms. McDonald as to the city's position on release.
Yes, Your Honor, I am going to be asking that the bail remain the same. It looks like it's currently set at $2,000. I do have some concern regarding his willingness and ability to reappear if he was released on his own recognizance, as well as concerned about community safety and risk of reoffending, given his temperament in the court today.
And Your Honor, Mr. Schuster would ask the court to release him on his own recognizance. These are not violent offenses. I don't see that he has any convictions for violent offenses. There was an assault from 2021 that was dismissed. He may have a view of the law that is different than the city's, but that in itself does not indicate that he won't come to court or that he would in any way try to subvert court proceedings. So we'd ask the court to release him on standard conditions.
Well, the court can consider whether or not Mr. Schuster is likely to reappear for future court hearings. What I hear from him today is that he completely objects to this court having any jurisdiction. I don't have a good faith basis that Mr. Schuster will return if I were to release him.
Now hold. This part gets wild. The father throws in the "I'm not even sure the kids are mine" card. A late game DNA doubt? That's a nuclear move. Judge Vonda freezes the room and fires back with one of her coldest lines yet. So you've been paying for children you claim might not be yours? Boom. You can almost feel the walls closing in on him. This isn't just a court hearing. It's a public unraveling of trust, ego, and regrets. At this point, everyone's jaw is metaphorically on the floor.
I do see that he has a prior conviction for DUI. He's on a deferred prosecution at this time in Seattle Municipal Court. He's not complying with conditions if he's driving without a license and driving without a required ignition interlock device. Also, indication that Mr. Schuster will not abide the court's orders to appear on his promise. I want to look at the Seattle Municipal case and see when he's next scheduled to appear.
Like he had mentioned too, in 2021, same situation, or not same situation, a situation occurred in which they tried to charge me. They didn't have jurisdiction. It was dismissed. And again, I don't want any charges against me because I do have the deferral, which would obviously violate that deferral. And so I will make any visitations, special visitations to the court to handle any matters pertaining to Jonathan Troy Faifale, also Maliatoa Schuster. I'm a man, I'm free, and I want it to stay that way.
I do see it looks like he's got at least 3 prior warrants. He has 2 priors out of Benton County, 1 out of Lower Kittitas. The previous warrants history.
And throughout this process of going to courts, I've had to learn a lot. And so I know it's no game to just not show and make visitations. That's not what I want to do. And again.
All right, now the narrative shifts. The mother opens up about her daily grind, working 2 jobs, handling school runs, paying rent solo. Her voice cracks, not from weakness, but from fatigue. You feel her pain. Judge Vonda listens, really listens, and the room softens. Suddenly, the conversation isn't about blame anymore. It's about survival. The father tries to interject, but now he looks less like a victim and more like someone avoiding accountability. Real talk. Emotions are high, and the judge is taking note.
Jurisdiction does need to be proven, whether it's today or another date. And if you want to violate my rights even further by not releasing me on my own recognizance, ma'am, was it Jennifer Grant? Then, like I had mentioned earlier, you, along with the officer and sergeant, who are already going to be getting sued, I mean, there's no need to add you as well, especially when you know the law.
I don't see another date set until February 12th of 2025 in the Seattle.
In Seattle Municipal Court?
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Schuster, I have to do what I believe is appropriate in this case, and that is to set bail, and any threats to sue me or to take any action against me, I can't be swayed by that. So
it's not a threat. It's just what it is.
I do not believe that you will respond to the court's order to come back. I do base that upon the conduct in this case, as well as the prior FTA history. So bail will be $2,000. If you're able to post bail, you are to return for your next court date. You are to have no criminal law violations. You're not to drive unless you have a valid license and insurance. And
when are you setting that court date, Miss?
Required by the Department of Licensing. You are.
This part is like the courtroom's turning point. Judge Vonda lays down facts. Child support isn't a punishment, it's a responsibility. And when she says, your lifestyle change doesn't excuse your children's needs, it cuts deep. The father tries to argue his case with shaky numbers and weak logic, but the judge isn't moved. Meanwhile, the mother sits steady, silent but strong. It becomes crystal clear. This isn't just about a paycheck. It's about showing up for your kids, no matter what.
You will be represented because I'm going to assign counsel.
I am sui juris in propria persona. I present myself. I don't need to be represented by anybody. I stand on my own 2 feet.
These are criminal charges that have significant consequences for you. So it's in your best interest to have counsel.
Again, I stand on my own 2 feet. I do not need to be represented by anybody. I present myself sui juris in propria persona.
If you want to be your own counsel, you'll have to go through a full colloquy and waive all your rights to have representation. It's your constitutional right.
I do not accept being represented by anybody. Again, I present myself. I am beneficiary. I am sovereign. I am an American national, a non-U.S. citizen American national by way of America Samoa, like I had mentioned earlier. I reserve my rights. And I do not need to be represented by any.
Right. The time for trial expiration is 8/9/24.
Again, if you are practicing law from the bench and putting a plea in for me, I object to that. You cannot practice law from the bench.
Next court date will be,
We want to try for next Wednesday or even the week after that.
well, next Wednesday's a holiday, so the 18th, which is pretty full. So I was going to set this on June 24th. That's 2 weeks out.
So for the record, you have not established status, you have not proven jurisdiction, and you're denying my rights. Is that correct?
I don't know.
Here we go. Judge Vonda starts calculating, and it's not just numbers, it's accountability in real time. You see her break down income, expenses, obligations. The father's confidence? Gone. He stumbles, tries to charm his way out, but the judge shuts it down with sheer precision. The mother doesn't even have to say a word anymore. This is where truth gets the final say. By the end of this segment, the courtroom vibe shifts entirely. It's no longer a debate, it's a reality check.
Know what you think would establish my status, but I do have status to sit in this court.
You are a U.S. citizen. A U.S. citizen cannot sit a bench.
Sign for your next court date.
You're asking me to sign something that you pleaded for me. Is that
Yes,
correct?
I'm giving you notice of the conditions that I have set as well as bail.
You said
I'm
yes,
noting
you
that I
pleaded for
found
me.
Probable cause. If you are able to post that bail and get out of custody, those are my expectations that you will come back on that court date and that you will abide by the conditions that I have imposed. Those are being ordered today. So that is what's happening today. And we are giving you that notice. You can refuse to sign that notice, and we'll note that you were provided a copy in writing and that you refused to sign.
I do not understand.
Which part of it do you not understand that you have a
I
piece
do
of
not
paper
understand how you can
with
practice
document?
law from the bench.
I'm the judge and I am setting the conditions.
Well, you also entered a plea for me, correct?
What we're doing at arraignment is the plea is being entered. You're not pleading guilty, so on your behalf, I'm entering a not guilty plea.
So, correct,
We
you
cannot-
are pleading for me,
There's
correct?
two pleas.
And if you
not
plead
guilty
for me,
or
you're
guilty.
practicing law from the bench. You cannot practice law from the bench, so I object.
Right.
You're-
I'm going to give you that piece of paper and we're done with your hearing today. We will see you in 2 weeks. Okay?
Jennifer
Okay.
Grant, you will be
Okay.
taken further.
This is the moment of truth. Judge Vonda delivers the final ruling. No reduction, and if anything, a recalculation might increase support. The father looks like he's just been hit with a truck. The mother, quietly relieved. But it's the judge's closing that hits hardest. If you want a say in your children's lives, start acting like it. Case closed. And just like that, emotions, drama, and responsibility all collide in one powerful courtroom finale. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.